Hey, this is a farm boy. For those of you who follow me, you know that I went down to the Allen County, Indiana courthouse, and in the rotunda on the third floor, I think it's the big dome. It's the womb, so to speak. There's 4 fabulous paintings up there. They're all named: peace and war, law, despotism, all that stuff. But they face each other, and if you can actually see the story and understand it, and you can understand that America is not a God-fearing country. It is a goddess-worshiping country. Most of you don't realize that when they put up the Statue of Liberty, Grover Cleveland made a speech, and in his speech he said, "We have a deity all of our own." If you look on top of your Capitol buildings, it's a woman. The District of Columbia is a woman. In Indiana, in Indianapolis, in the Circle, you have a 238-foot tall Soldiers and Sailors monument, and on top of it is Nike. In every case, what you have is a goddess. On top of the Capitol building, it's freedom. All around the country, there's goddess statues everywhere. We're a goddess-worshiping country. If you could understand the stories of what the Anunnaki stories are of the Akkadian and Sumerian text in the cuneiform tablets, you would understand it's a version of Inanna. The goddess never changes. She changes names, has a few different attributes, but they're just all compilations of different aspects of the same personality, and it's the female goddess. We worship that female goddess. We're dedicated to that female goddess. And we sit in our churches and we say that God, there is only one God. In this country, it's true. In the Allen County Courthouse, in those paintings, the female goddess that brings peace is Ceres. Ceres is just another version of all the other goddesses combined. She is the goddess of the harvest. And in the harvest, the poppy grows wild. Most people don't know these stories. And basically what it comes down to is it's the drug. The drug is commerce. And it goes back to Pharmakia. She's just another version of Circe and all the other witches. That's how it really works. And the opposing wall to her, she sits in the east, and the opposing wall to her would be in the west, I assume. I didn't have a compass, but I'm assuming that's how it worked, because the light comes from the east and war comes from the west. We ought to know. We are in the west, and we take war to everybody. But on the opposite of her is not what she fights against. It's the mirror image of what you see when the veil is removed. It is Satan, so to speak. It's a man with a bruised head and a crown surrounded by demons. The opposite walls of that is law and justice and mercy. 3 goddesses again. You would think that that's what that represents, law and mercy and justice, but it's not. Those 3 goddesses are completely different. Those 3 goddesses are Pasiphae, Circe, and Medea. And they stare across to what, when the veil's pulled, what really they give you. And the opposite wall is images of Nero. It's despotism. The fact of the matter is we don't understand anything. I've said it before. The best place to hide a stolen car is on a car lot. If that makes sense to you, you might understand what's going on. You don't get to sit in your Catholic church or Methodist church or Baptist church or any other church for that matter and run your mouth and say that you have a personal relationship with God or whatever the case is going to be. God doesn't know you. You need to get comfortable with that thought. That's why he wrote in there, "I never knew you." For those who said, "Well, didn't we do all these great things in your name?" He said, "I never knew you." Why? Because you didn't actually put your works. Remember those verses where it says faith without works is of no value? It's your works. And because you do no works, you have allowed the goddess to control this country. She is the goddess of the water, commerce, world trade. That's what she is. And she has brought all of her different images of herself into our society, and our society is the old Rome, Nero. Inside, you can look at that courthouse, and it is nothing but a temple to the Roman theologies, the building structure, the marble columns. And you walk into courtrooms and they have all the Roman columns all the way around, and built on top of those columns is Indiana's history. You're not what you think you are. You're not a Christian. You're a churchgoer. I don't care what your denomination is. As long as you're unwilling to accept the fact that your works are of no value, that our country is from the West and that's where evil comes from, until you can figure these things out, you're lost. Our country's lost. For those of you who are pro-Trump, all the question I got for you is, are we great yet? No, we're not. And we're not ever going to be great. We never were great. We were great at building things. We were great at commerce. We were great at stealing the wealth from the people and making ledgers of entry. You have no money. You don't own your home. It doesn't matter what you think of yourself. I don't care how much you've paid for in your life. The moment you quit paying the property taxes on it, the owner will come and get it. She has violated everything about us. We have worshiped her, praised her, and built our country around her. And we did it all while the pulpit stayed silent. That's how it really works. This is a farm boy. Let me know what you think about that. Quite frankly, I don't care if you agree or not. I'm right, and you're uneducated.